So painting this Christmas dove, we're going to use a black canvas for a change. You don't have to, but I just thought I would do it for a change. Because the background is dark up here and then it gets lighter as we go down because you got a bit of snow. So first of all, I'm going to add some blue. I'll try my sky blue first. And then we will start at the top here because I want it to be a little dark. Some of that dark is coming through there, which is nice. I like black backgrounds because, yes, it does darken your paints a bit, but it also makes it stand out. You'll see now when I do the dove and do the lighter parts of the painting. Now, if you want to make that blue even darker, you can certainly add a little red or a little black to it. I have some really dark blue, P-R-U-S-S-I-N-I-A-N, Persian blue. I want to pronounce it right for you so you know what you want to get. It's a very popular, Bob Ross used to use those colors. And we have a crimson red, which is another popular color. Some of the colors are more popular with artists than others. And there's a lot of reds and blues and greens and all kinds of colors out there. I have videos on how to mix colors. Okay. So we want to darken up that a little more up there, because as you can see by the reference photo, it's a bit darker. You can add your really dark blue for the corners up here, or you can add some of that Persian blue. See how that really darkens it up? It's a nice dark color. Experiment. See what you like the best. That's nice, look at that. Isn't that nice? I like that. Or you could use a little bit of red. That'll give it a purplish blue look, which is what we got the other Persian blue. Persian blue that got the kind of purplish bluish look. So you can experiment with your colors. I like adding a bit of red to my blue. Isn't that nice? Now as we come down, we'll just add our regular sky blue. We're going to do the whole background. I know that the dove has to go on there, but we'll make our dove nice and white. You could put your dove on first if you want to and paint around it. But, you know, just it's a little more difficult, but people do it. Or you can draw out your dove on your canvas before you paint it, and you can put tape on it. That's if you got a white background. This is a black background, so you're going to need definitely going to need to lighten it up first. So I'm going to start adding, I got my blue, okay, and now I'm going to add white to I'm going to add lots of white here so we can start brightening it up, because that's where the dove is going. We want that nice and bright there in the center. So it is nice to, I won't use my magic white. You could use magic white with this, but where I'm trying to do the video and I don't want to take, you know what I mean, like I'd have to wait hours for it to dry, or I would have to use a hair dryer, which still takes a bit longer when you use magic white. And magic white will let it blend much better than what I'm doing here, but all I got to do is add more water to my paintbrush. That will help. All right, you can mist it with water, you can mist it with my magic mist. I have all that in my links there, that you can make your own magic mist and magic white. And you might say, what's that for? That's so that because your paints dry so fast, look, see, it's harder to blend. But the magic mist, the magic white, the magic paint that I make, the magic clear, that all helps your paint stay wet longer and smoother, and it'll blend much better. It's much easier to work with. The only problem I'm having right now is that I need from this to dry fast because I want to get my video done. Okay, so I'm just going to use water. I'm just going to wet my brush more. And the thing, you might say, well, we'll do that. And I'll say, yes, you can. But the thing is, when it gets too wet, then it gets more transparent. Then your paint ends up being almost see-through. Then you got to do more coats of paint, and it's just, you know. So there's a lot of things that you figure out as you get more experience. The more paintings you do, you'll say, oh, okay, well, it's no good adding too much water to my paint because now you can see through it. So there's a lot of things you will learn on your own. So not to worry. Painting is a never-ending learning process. No matter how long you've been doing it, you'll always learn something new because each painting that you do has a different technique. But once you get the basics done, then it'll be much easier. You'll make better decisions, all right? Because you're the one that got to make decisions. But if you don't know what decisions to make, then that's why you start off with video lessons and painting lessons, and have to find out what brushes are best to use. Once you figure out the brushes and what ones are the best ones to use, and what work best, what color paints to use, how much paint to put on your brush, and all that good stuff, then you will be able to paint anything, but every painting will still require new techniques and new learning. So down here is some snow, so I'm just going to make that kind of white. There we go. Still want some blue in there because that's shadows for the snow, right? Nice. All right. Now don't worry if it looks funny because we will be readjusting different things. At the end of your painting, you always go back and readjust. You always go back and you add small details, or you fix up something that looks off, or, you know, you wait till the very end of your painting that you think it's finished, and then you look at it and say, there's something missing, there's something don't look right. And then that's when you start fixing up things that you don't like to look at. Because you got to look at it for the rest of your life. So you might as well like what you see. There we go. Lots of white paint down here. I'll just leave that like that. And if you want to, you can add more blue here. I can see some of the, maybe a bit of black coming through. So it is nice to work with black background, but you have to work a little differently than if you had a white background. All right. I'm just going to add more paint here. Nice. And you go back and forth with long strokes and you'll get a nice smooth look, okay? If you just do this, you know, you're going to get all over the place. But if you make long strokes, it'll blend better and it'll look better. And it'll be smoother looking and be nicer and pretty. Unless you want to do some kind of abstract, that's a different type of painting altogether. But if you're following this one, you want it to be the smooth look. All right. Some of that dark paint up here. As long as your paint is wet, you can go back and forth with the different colors because they blend. See how that blended right there? It didn't look like two different areas. So, you know, paint got to be wet. So make sure your paint is wet. And you might say, how do I do that? Well, just mist it with a bit of water. Or use your magic white or your magic mist. And you make your own, so you don't have to go out and spend a fortune. Once you make your own, once you buy the supplies for your own, then you got it for a long time. You may only need to buy your supplies once. And it's not very much. So I like that. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Down here, might need a bit more white. We don't want to rush it. You know, I know I'm doing a video, so I'll kind of speed things up a little bit, but I want to show you that, you know, you look at it and say, okay, well, that needs a little more of this and needs a little more of that, right? Because my paint is wet, it's not all blending nicely. It's not just coming out only white. It's mixing in with the blue. Right. Nice. Now there's one thing when you paint over a painting. I painted over a painting so you can see some little bubbles and little marks and things like that on my paint, on my canvas, because when I did a painting, the paint was probably thick in some places and things, so unless you scrape it or sand it off, painting over it is going to leave some of these bumps and lumps, which I don't mind because it adds character to my paintings. So we're going to take out some, you know, we'll do the dove. Hang on. So before we do anything else, you want to get an idea where you want your dove, because you're going to be working around the dove now, basically. We're going to be, if you put your tree over here and it comes in too far, then your dove is going to be on top of it. So you're going to decide where you want your dove, and that way you'll be able to, I'm thinking probably a little over this far. That way we'll have lots of room for a nice big tree here. And the branch could be here somewhere. And the snow is down here, so the dove can be maybe up a little bit more. Not, you know, it's up to you, but I'm thinking more to facing this would be to the right, okay? So you can mark that with, you don't have to draw it out yet. Just mark it to where the dove is going to stand. So that will give you some idea on how far to come in with your trees. And then we can put the dove on after, because right now my paint is still a bit wet. So, and then also, we're going to start with some orange, and for the branches, so it can be orange or brownish color, or but to get the leaves on the branches, we need a base. So you can use orange. You can have orange color, like this one, or you can make your own orange with red and yellow, of course. And you can use any yellow. This is a lemon yellow. Just showing you the things that I have here. I have all different brands. I had a video on all different brands that I use. And my favorite brands too. I like these. I have several brands that I really like. Probably 3 or 4 the most. But there's a lot of good ones out there. I have a light green. You know, have different greens. This is a nice green. Olive green is nice. So you got a lime green, you know, so, or you can make your own green. So I'm going to lay down some of this olive green. Let's see what that looks like. I haven't used that one yet. This is brand new. There we go. It's a nice color. I'll leave that for now like that. I might use the lighter color green to make highlights. Let's go and see what we're going to do. All right. Like I said, I might make my own. I got a flat brush. We call this a flat chisel brush, chiseled edge, because see nice how chiseled it is. Isn't that nice, right? So that's good, nice brush. And so let's see. First of all, I want to put some, let's draw that out first. Get an idea where we're going to put those branches. We got one maybe right here. It's the Christmas tree is away. It's hidden. Okay, the only thing you can see are the edges of the tree. All right. So you got one there, and there's a little one coming out here. Then you got another one here. So at least now we know where the dove is going to end. See, right? And then we got another branch here. We got a lot of the tree going on here. And then we got a branch, so the tree is coming out here, and then a branch comes out here. And then we got some more tree right here, another branch here, and more tree here, and then more tree here, And this is the branch that it's going to sit on. So you can bring that over here. That's where the dove is. And then we are going to make another couple of branches coming down here. So this should be fun. All right. Oh man, are you serious? So in case I forgot to turn on the camera, I made my green with some blue and with some of that, what's that called? Olive green, and some yellow, and some blue, some orange to make a nice dark green. All right. And that's the big problem with not having someone to help you with videos. And then I just tapped in these really nice trees like this with this fan brush, because the fan brush gives all that nice texture. All right, so just tap those in there like that. I'm coming out from in here, and there we go. See? So I don't know if I want to make sure you got that, because that's important. You may not know how to do this. All right, tap on a little bit here. There we go. Tap on a little bit here on these little branches that are coming out. Good. So you got like a little Christmas tree coming out there. All right, maybe I'm better off leaving the video going. I don't know. All right, so let's there's some snow on top of there too. So what I might do is put the snow on first. That way, let the snow be on top, and then we can put some more branches on top of that. So take your chiseled edge of your brush, right? And I'm using the very top of the brush, chiseled edge. And I'm just putting that on top of those branches. Make it look like snow. Good. That's where the dove is going to sit. Just get white paint. We got snow. And when that dries, then we can put some more leaves over it, some more branches. Chiseled edge. Nice already. It's nice already. So you just do one thing at a time, and you'll start seeing it come together. The more you do, the more you'll see how nice it can be. That even rhymes. The more you see, the more nicer it will be. I'm going to lay some of that snow down in here somewhere. You can probably notice I got a little bit of blue in my white in some cases, because that gives it a shadow. Like that a little bit more. I gotta wait for some of that to dry in order to get some nice white snow on that, so I'll let that dry. I'll leave that alone for now. Good. Take this out of here so that I don't have to reach over. Okay. So I'm enjoying my paint so far. I really like these Arky paints. Like I said, I had a video on these already, right? This is Montmartre and Dollar and Rowney. And yeah, I got a bunch of them. So I'll link that. I should link that video for you, so at least you'll have something to look at. Alrighty then. So while we're waiting for that to dry, let's put a bulb on. That's what I'm going to just show you one. You can buy these at the dollar store. They go under your chairs so you won't scrape your floor. They get a little sticky back to them when you peel this off. But if you want to use it just for tapping into your paint and making something round, so you try to find things that are round. So I got this. So let's say I want to make a pink bulb. I'll dip into my pink color. I haven't tried this, so hopefully it'll work. I got some pink color on it. Let's see what happens. So say we put one right here. Oh, nice. And we can fill the rest of that in. Nice. Okay. So you can use that. Or if you want a bigger one, you can use the top of your paint or the bottom, right? As long as anything is round, right? If it's going to be round, then you should be able to get something round. This is going to be too big, I think. That's probably too big for there, so I'll probably go back to the small one again. Then you can use something else I had here to show you. Here it is. These are nice too. I got these, I believe, at the dollar store. Dollar store has amazing crafts. They have a lot of crafts and you know, priced so that you can buy lots of them. Like if you go to other stores and they're very expensive, you can only buy little. You know what I mean? You can only buy a smaller amount. So I'm going to put a red one right here. I'm going to use this one. Okay, this is round. Also, even the bottom is round. Look, you could even dip into the bottom part there. So anything that's round. Let's just do this one first. Push. That's all right. That's not bad at all. Good. Yeah, anything round, right? You could even use, if you're getting something big and round, you can use an egg cup, the bottom or the top, right? I don't have anything. I'm not making anything that big, but I just want to show you. Anything round. It can be, depending on how big you want. I mean, you could use a round plate. This is round. You could use that. These can come in different sizes. See? So anything that you need to make round, because drawing out round things is hard to do. So just get a round brush, this kind of a round brush. All right, and then that's nice, isn't it? So you want to fix it up a little bit. Just add a bit of your pink color to your brush and steady your hand. I kind of like it the way it is, but and then just fill it in. Let's get some highlight up there. Leave that little highlight, that's nice. Get a little bit of a shadow up here too. So let's add a little bit of for a shadow, maybe a little bit of red and a little bit of blue. Darken it up, make a shadow. It could be blue or purple. As long as your red is now a darker color for shadow. Clean off your brush because we don't want to lose that nice color that we had there. Clean off your brush really good so there's no paint on it, and so you can clean up that edge there. That's better. That's nice. It's pretty. Clean up your edge a little bit if you got a steady hand. And this is going to have a little top on it because it is hung on the branch there. It's a little yellow square basically. Now you can make a square. Let's see. So you just need something to show that it's hanging. And you might want to get a little bit of red or something, or a dark shadow underneath that. Good. And we might have a little bit of a string, but I can't see it. But I might just put a little one anyway, just a little something. It's probably going to be a tree branch hanging down over that. That's cute, isn't it? I like it. And the red one down there, you can also use the same brush if you like, and just kind of lighten it up in some places. Maybe up here, we'll lighten it up here. And down here. Let's just do those two spots. Clean off your brush really good. Wipe it off in your tissue, and then blend those edges there. Soften it up. I find acrylic is a lot about blending to make it look pretty. All right. Add a little bit more red to round it out a bit more. I know you gotta have a steady hand. Sometimes I don't have a steady hand. I'm going to take my brush and add a little bit of white too, a little bit of white, and make a little snowflake or something on there. Give it some kind of decoration. Straight lines, a line, and a couple little dots or something. Some little dots just to give it a little bit of decoration there. Nothing much. And that's got like a silver. That's got a silver. So I'm going to use a bit of black and white for gray. Make some silver. And I'm going to make a little, like it's something holding on to it. Probably a little bit of shadow in there. I know it's a small area, but small areas are fun to make too. Put a couple little dots there or something just to represent there might be a shadow or something in there. There we go. Good. I'm going to use a little more dark red. Wipe off your brush every time you change paints. Round it out a bit more. There we go. So sometimes I'm a bit quiet because I'm trying to concentrate. Would you believe? All right, well, that's that. I don't want to do anything else with that now. I do want to start adding some of those little pines off the pine tree. I guess this, the pine tree is for the, just trying to figure out now what brush to use. Say a small flat brush will be nice. Chiseled edge. Whenever I say flat chiseled edge, that's a synthetic flat brush, okay? And then I might change, who knows. I got a couple there. I got a couple here. So now, you don't always know what brush to use, but you might want to try several, right? I got this one, angular brush, but it can be flat, and it's chiseled edge. These are different. These got like openings between them. They're kind of nice. They're nice for feathers and things like that. That's a small flat brush. That's a good one. And a smaller, see how it's opened up? So I'm going to try a couple of those. I'm going to try the small flat brush first with the chiseled edge, and I'm going to wet it, and then I'm going to run it through my paint. So we need green, dark green again. We can always highlight the green after. All right. So we always need a, so on top of here, we're going to make these coming up like that. Now the snow is on top of those, so we'll put more snow there now after. Yep. So the leaves, these little branches, they're coming off of that one down underneath there, that stick look. Stick or the branch, whatever you want to call it. They're coming off of that. So I'm going to add a lighter color so that you can see those. I'm going to add a bit of white to my green. Not too bad. I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll use a liner brush. Let me try a liner. I love trying different things. So I'm going to use, first of all, I'm going to try this round brush. Well, it's kind of a liner, but it's a round. And I'm going to try this green here. It's a really bright green. Those greens I was showing you earlier. I'm going to try this one. I like trying different ones. Try different things. Start with a little dark first. That'll give you a basis for starting your, whatever you're going to do on top of it. See, when you layer your paint, you start with darker and then 3 different values of really dark and then medium and then really light and then your highlight. That'll layer it for you. It's coming out underneath here. Good. I am going to try another brush. I want to show you that, you know, you may have to try several different brushes to get the one you're really looking for. Or you may never find it. But you will. You will. You'll just go back and forth with different brushes until you find, because your brush can make or break your painting. I found it out many times. So I want to try a bit of yellow. I'm going to try a bit of yellow this time, like the brightest of the brightest, just to see if I can get them to stand out a bit more. Coming along, coming along. Coming along. All right. Okay, we'll start off with my dark green again. It's the darkest green you have there. We need a basis for it. So I do like my flat brush for that one. So the flat brush is great for the basics. I tell you now what I'm learning. What I'm learning, I know that sounds strange, but what I'm learning is that this chiseled edge brush is better to get them started for your darkest, and then on top of that, then you can use your smaller brushes. That's what I'm learning for this painting. Oh. It's okay if they're close together, because when you can separate them with your highlights. Oops, a nice small one. So you get a smaller one. If your brush is too big, just get a smaller flat brush. Good. Reload all the time. You have to reload. And go to your lighter green. Let's put some highlights. Yeah, reload a lot. See how the paint's coming off already? I'm after reloading a few times. Don't worry about that bottom. We can fix that again. We just want to get these on here. All right. Dark paint. Get it started. So you're starting down on that little stick that you made. Down around that area, at least. Then you can highlight them with the bright yellow, a bright green or yellow. Anything lighter than green. Good. And you keep doing that for the rest of them. Okay, I'm going to cut in here because what I'm doing is I'm trying to do some highlights in back here so you can see that there's a tree there. That, you know, there's more branches and more tree. Like you can't see because it's so dark. So these little highlights will bring it out more. And that's what I'm trying to do here with the yellow, a really bright green, yeah, almost yellow. And that kind of gives it more depth and more detail. See, gives it more detail. Right, so you just tap on some of this lighter color on that dark area. That'll give it more detail sticking out there, and that'll give you more detail to your little. See, so you're probably looking at it when I was quiet and going, "What is she doing that for? What is she doing?" And that's what I'm doing, just adding highlights. See the highlights, how nice they make it stand out? You can never get enough highlights, I don't think. Right? You even go over stuff you already did. If you feel it needs more. You can overdo it, but if you just stay on top and don't lose the shadows in the underneath shadows, if you don't lose those, then you can highlight as much as you want, but you don't want to have it a blob. You just want it here and there, you know what I mean? So if you have a problem and you put a big blob there by accident, just go back in with your dark, start with your dark, what you started with in the very beginning, and redo it with the dark, okay? That looks so much better with highlight on it. See, and I'm using yellow, really bright yellow green. Just mixing my yellow with some darker green or whatever, you know. See how I'm keeping the under green, the darker green. There's a little bit of something going on there, so we'll bring that out a little bit by just little short strokes. Short stroke like that, that's all. Boom, boom. Use the corner of your brush if you have to, just to get it a little short. And don't push too hard or you'll get a big blob. Like I said, if you get a blob and you don't like it, go back with that really dark color, fill it in with that, and then start over, and probably wait for it to dry a little bit so that the light green won't blend in with the dark color too much. Right? Good. That's the one the bird is going to sit on. This is one underneath here. It's kind of shadowy, so you might need to darken that one up. Just underneath here, just trying to see where everything is. Don't have to be exact, but try to use that reference photo to help you figure out where everything's going. All right, so looks like some coming up here. So I'll continue on with our little branches there. I just thought I'd show you these brushes. Now, you can buy them, and you may use them for fur and different things like that. So I'm just showing you how you, see how it separates? So you can get 3 at a time if you wanted to. You know, you could get 3 at a time, or you could use the bigger one with more separations. And then you get 4 or 5 at a time. Like I said, they're great for fur. I'll probably do a video on how to make fur with these. All these things you can get at those dollar stores, Walmart's, Amazon, wherever, you know. You just have to know what to look for. You know, because a lot of people are new. If you're new to painting, you don't know what kind of brushes are out there, and you might see them and not know what to do with them. So I got some videos on how to use your brushes and what they can do, and I got I got lots of videos out there, so I will put links to those. I'm going to do some new ones. There probably won't be one out until after this one. I want to freshen up, update my videos, I would say, because I do have a lot of them there on brushes and colors and different things like that. So then, you know, you can use the small liner brush. You could use the flat brush that we've been using. So I kind of like just using this because I got a little more control. I don't know. Just what you get used to, I guess. Whatever works best for you. That's why you need to take your brushes and play with them. See what they do. Like I said, when I get my video, I got another video I want to update. I do have on brushes, you know, how to use your brushes and what some brushes are good for and what you can use them for. But I'd like to do another one just to update it, give you even more information. Let's see now, I was trying to find the time to do all these videos. I get over 1,000 on YouTube, over 1,000 video tutorials, plus some music, you know, because I've been singing and performing with my husband and having a great time. So I'm just trying to get that there. And then, there's another one here. Do you remember when, did you do, I'll tell you now what might help you. Do palm trees. Did you do palm trees with me? That would probably help because you could do these the same as palm trees almost. The thing in this reference photo is that they're a little more separated than the palm trees because they're pines, pine needles they call them, off the tree. So they're a little different. But the way you move your hand and the way you use your brush is almost the same. See, and now we're going to do our highlights. So use your yellow, put yellow into your lighter green and get some nice highlights to bring them out, see? Now when you get that little stroke of white, yellow, don't go back over it. Move away from it then, because that's what you're looking for. All right? That's what you're looking for. You might go over it thinking, oh, I should smooth that out, but no, leave it there. And you got some dark underneath. Once you get the dark underneath and that little highlight, then it looks so much better. So we're going to put some snow in there. See what a little bit of highlight can do? Brings it out. See? Isn't that cool? So you still got a lot more work to do yet. Thinking I might put the dove in soon just so that we can, and then we'll add the bulbs that after because right now that's still wet. And I have more things I want to do with it. So yeah, so maybe we will work on, actually, first of all, we have to, so in the background, like you can splatter some snow there if you want to, but I find that I'm using Q-tip in white just so that I can get the bigger ones like I did in some of my other ones, and just tap it on until almost all the paint is off. And anyway, you get all these nice little round snow falling down, see? Little round snow. Some are bigger than others. But keep going. Don't just reload once. No need to reload 2 or 3 times. Because what you want to do is you want to fade something out in the background too, right? Fade something out. Whoops. So fade something out like you can barely see them. Even if you have to wipe it off. Alright, so we got the dove going there. So I didn't need to put them there. But I did anyway. Oh boy. Oh boy. Some faded ones in the background. You have the reference photo there, so. Now, that's those. And then we can get a toothpick, because you can get smaller ones now. And you can dip into your white and you get the smaller ones. But like I said, you can splatter if you want. You know how to splatter, right? for those who don't know how to splatter, get a toothbrush. I thought I had one there, but I don't see it there right now. But take a toothbrush and dip it in water. And as long as it's not dripping, you know, it has to be wet enough so that the paint will splatter. Just rub your finger through the toothbrush and it'll all splatter onto your canvas. Yeah. Reload if you got to. There was a little, I don't know what it was on the other side. I just cropped that out. I'm not going to put that in there. Probably that little light that's coming off the edge here. I might put that in. That looks kind of nice. So you can change things up any way you want. You don't have to do it because it's in the reference file. You can take things out, put things in. You know, you got to be creative. Make it your own. You know, be creative, guys. Add a little bit of snow up here. You can add a bit of snow there. Look with a toothpick. That gives it a big texture by doing that. See? Isn't that cool? We can do that after. I want to get my dove started now. Now, you can take this dove and you can draw it on a piece of paper. Now you can do it freehand or you can trace it. I'll give you a pattern. You can either trace it or you can... And what I did was, for a change, I put some chalk. That's chalk, yellow chalk, because it's bright. Anything bright, white, whatever. And I put it on the back of that paper so that when I use my pen and I touch hard to transfer that image to my canvas, then you'll get the lines, right? You can see it. Now you got the shape. It's not perfect, but at least it gives you an idea of the shape of that dove, okay? And if that don't work for you, and also what I did was, when I made the line, it was kind of light, but I could see it. So what I did was I drew over it anyway, again, okay? So I drew over it again so I could see the lines better. And one good thing about using chalk, if you make a mistake or, you know, you can just wipe it out with a bit of damp cloth or a damp brush, right? So I like using chalk, but you can also use anything you want. Use graphite paper, like I told you before, where you put pencil on the back instead of chalk or carbon. Or you can use carbon paper. On carbon paper you can't erase it, but you can cover up the lines pretty good. So that's pretty good too. So get it on there any way you can. I would not suggest that you draw right on your canvas, not unless you're an amazing artist, that you can draw freehand right on your, because once you draw, if you use pencil or pen or whatever you're using, or even paint, and you don't get the shape the way you want it, then your whole painting is ruined. So do it on paper first, okay? And then decide what way then you want to transfer that to your canvas. Okay, so now we will take that off, and now we have our nice dove sitting there waiting to be painted. So we're going to paint the dove, and we need to have a shadow color. Even though the background is blue, we still need to have some paint. So I'm going to paint the background of this dove. Probably, I was going to do blue, but maybe I'll do a little bit of a grayish color because we already have the blue background. It'll be hard to distinguish. So I'm just going to put kind of a light gray there. A little bit of black and a little bit of blue and a little bit of white. That'll give it a purplish gray color so you can see the difference. I don't want to, all right, we got to keep that eye. I want to lighten it up a bit more, I think, so you can see it. There it is. We have to have some shadow though. Have to have shadow in order to see light. The dove is pretty light. I like that purplish color that we're going to use for shadow. So right here, they need to be a bit darker. So I'm going to add a bit more blue there, just so we know where that is. Don't want to lose that. It's good. Good, good. Go back to our lighter color. Don't want to lose that purplish feel. All right. So the chalk is going to be there. You can always wipe it out after if you don't get the chalk out. It just after everything dries completely, then you can take a damp brush and wipe away the chalk. Okay. Okay, we'll keep doing this until we get everything done that we want. All right. Keep an eye on your reference photo. I want to send you a copy of the finished painting, and it's on my Patreon page. I do have some of these paintings on YouTube, but the thing is, because you're a member, and because some of you are members, paying members, then they're ad-free. These are on Patreon. This is the little perks that you get, right? When you become a member, I have some paintings here that are on here. They're not on YouTube, just for my patrons. And also, they don't have any ads. When you're on YouTube, just a lot of ads pop up because that's the way it works. Okay? Now you can buy premium, but that's $10 a month. $12 a month or something like that. So if you don't want any ads, you pay $1 here on Patreon, and you get all these paintings with no ads. $1 a month. That's a lot cheaper than 9 or 11. I'm not sure what is positively sure, but yeah. But no ands, ifs, or buts about it. So I got to make sure I keep these separate so I know where everything ends and begins. Right? Make sure everything ends and begins. That's good. That's good. There's some of these here. I'm sure I can adjust them when I need to. Right, and then I'm going to add my purplish color again. I don't want to get that in your way. That's why I got it down here. Right. All right, let's see. We can adjust all that when we're doing the final painting, okay? Just take your brush, see that? Hope my hand's not in the way. Take that and pull in. See, you're on your chiseled edge and you push in, and then you get that nice little pointy top to the wing. See? Point, you're right on your chiseled edge, push back, you get that nice point, and then you can pull back. right, same down here. I should do that before. Sometimes you think about it after, like, oh, I forgot to tell him this and that. All right, that's good. And we'll get good. Good. Get that much done. Just got some leftover paint there. Throw it on there. Nice. All right. Okay, so we'll start with the beak. Looks like the beak went over the tree. So what we'll do with that is put the tree behind the beak, so that's okay. So the beak can be orange. In the reference photo is blue. I guess we could stick with that. You know, it's a fantasy type painting, so it's not like it has to be exactly right. So we'll go with a darker blue. Just to add a dark blue. Any dark blue that you have. I just got some dark blues in that here. So the ones I showed you before. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to shape up that little beak. So the beak comes out. The beak goes on. Beak. Beak, beak. I came up here. Something like that. Something like that. The eye is here. Let's get that eye drawn in so we can see where everything goes. That's the eye. And then the beak goes up close to the eye. Little thing going out here. Oops, that's too heavy. That's okay. And then we get a little round thing here. Maybe I shouldn't use. And I'll have to put a highlight on that beak so I can make sure I got it correct. So right now I'm just going to fill it in, put the highlight on it after. And the eye. Yeah, I want the eye started. So I'm just using a dark blue to get it started. Some white highlights in between there too, so let's get that blue on there. It can be black. You can see we're going to have to make some adjustments, okay? You know, that's what painting is all about. And I do have a few adjustments to make, that's for sure. I can see around his head. It doesn't seem to have that nice shape. I'm just going to see if I can use my paint to get a better shape. It's more round, isn't it? More out this way a bit. then it comes more flat here, out in the back a little bit more. And then down. Okay, well, we're getting there. We're going to get there. I think the eye might be too big. So we'll adjust that now when I get more paint on there. We got, all right. All right, get a small flat brush. A small flat brush. You might say, well, how do you know what brushes to use? Well, like I've shown you, I have to use probably a couple of brushes first before I come to one that I really want to use, right? So that's what you got to do, right? So, and then when that small brush worked for something earlier, then you know that you'll be able to use that brush again for something else. So I know it's hard to judge. I know that there's a lot to think about. There's a lot that you have to decide on. You have to make a lot of decisions. But it's fun. You're the one that's in control. So stay in control. I like these brushes like with that little point on it, because it's called an angular brush. Because that way, look, you can have your, it's called a heel toe. I call the angular part, that high part there, I call that the toe. So I can put the toe up against that line up here, and then the heel stay down in the back, right? That way you can use that toe to help you get around those edges. See? And then you can use your chiseled edge to come in a little closer to the eye. But I'm pretty sure I got that eye way too big. So I'm going to move that down a little bit. See how I could use the toe to get around the areas? Yeah, I think I had that eye a bit too big. Good. Have a grand old time, my toe. Good. There's a blue line going around there, a blue line. Let me get that long liner brush again, and or the round brush. I'll put that little blue line back in there. Right here, it seems to be a little bit of a shadow or something. Let's try that. Because in the center, I'll use my toe to get in the center here. Just my toe. Okay. That helps. And then I gotta do the top of the, so I'm gonna add more white. I want to use my toe again to get around that. Wipe off some of the paint. If there's too much paint, just wipe it off. And we'll get that. Shape up that nose a bit better. That snout, if you want to call it. Beak. The beak. Alright, and then you got, we'll fix that up now a little while. Just one thing at a time. Getting the shapes correct is hard. Even the tracing it, still hard to get the, you know, get the good chiseled edge there. Let's see what we're going to do here. I'm going to use my toe to bring these little strokes. get some more paint. Reload. Every time paint runs out, go reload. Okay, I might have to adjust that beak, as you can see. So when I get the whole thing done, I'll see if I can get that the way it should be. Some more paint. Make it look feathery. Pull out in the back here. Like you did with these things. Pull out, pull out. All right. So it looks like let me get some out here. You can use the heel for that if you like. Good. Just grabbing some, come on up here. Top of that line there. Good. I want to use my toe to get that little feather out there and there. We'll highlight some more now after, and let's just get as much, because your white is not going to be real white right now, which is a good thing, because as you can see, there's some shadows there we need to keep. So use your heel, your toe I should say, to get those pointy feathers. Toe, heel, toe. Yeah, it's an angular brush. If your brush is flat, you can still pretend that you got a heel and toe. Just pick out what side you what you want to use. I usually say the corner of your brush. So get those tops there. You just touch, even with your flat brush, you just touch on the chiseled edge, lean back and pull, and then you can fill it in there. All right, same here. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Touch on chiseled edge, sit back and pull back. That way you get those, you'll get those little wingies. Swingies. So down here, same thing. Sit on your brush on chiseled edge and push back. See how you're getting that point? See how you're getting that pointy edge? I don't want my hand to be in the way. So you're sitting on the edge. Even if I was doing it right-handed, my hand would probably still be in the way. I'll do my best. Okay, so fill up your brush, chisel edge it. See how narrow it is? Now, sit on chiseled edge, stand on chiseled edge, stand, sit, pull back. Stand, sit, pull back. stand, sit, pull back. Stand, sit, pull back, stand, sit, pull back. And that gives you some wings, see? Yep, gives you your wings. Now we're going to fill this part in here. And it looks like we have some wings in here too. So I'm just gonna dab in a few of these like this first. I have to decide what I'm going to do with it. So, some shorter wings up here. Okay, so we can do the same thing here. So you just chisel out your brush, and I showed you how to do that before, right? So you just take your brush and pull it through the paint until it comes to a really thin, right? See? So as long as the bristles are pushed together, you get that. And then we're going to fill in this part here. Comes all the way down here. There is a little bit of a wing out here, separated, and here, whoops, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, there we go. We can always fix it. Did some little, same thing, just sit on top of your brush and pull back, stand, sit, stand, sit, stand, sit, stand, sit. You just might need more paint. Stand, sit, and pull back. Okay, and up here, we get some more little dabs of fur. I'm just going to tap them out for now. Okay, that looks terrible for now. It looks really, really terrible. So we have a bit of work. I have a bit of work because I got to try and show you how to do this properly. I think because the background is blue, that we should give the beak a little bit of orange just to make it stand out better. Because you'll only blend in with the blue background, and then you won't be able to see the beak. There we go. You can see it better there now, see? I'm not sure if I'm fussy about that. I'm not sure what to do with that there. I'll see now. I'll make some adjustments as we go along. I got a little bit of a shadow under there. That's good. All right. And we'll put some highlight on top of that just to bring it out a bit more. Yeah, I think that's better than blue. Good. Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to bring that little bit here more. So you have to shape up things as you're going along, because when you first start, everything is kind of not sure, but get that much done. Get a little bit more highlight up here. I'm trying to get my hand out of the way. I keep forgetting. You guys are going to get mad. You're going to be like, get your hand out of the way. All right, let's just scoop that out of there. If we got an odd-shaped snout, beak, we can adjust that as we go along. I find that when it's done, then that's when you can go back and adjust things, because it's hard to see right now what it's going to look like, or, you know, if it needs to be adjusted. We'll find out more. So let's just take some black and put it in the eye. Let's get that eye in there. I don't want to make it too big. There we go. Try that anyway. And then we can add a bit of white right here and give it a bit of a, might be a little bit too much. Just wipe off your brush, it was too much. And then just kind of get rid of some of that there. If you got too much, just go back and get a little bit of black and shape it up a bit better. So you have to go back and forth, see, because it's so easy to make things for even your brush might just slip. It might just slip around or something happens, right? So we got the little white in there, but we got to get that little bit of highlight around the eye there. We'll get it. It's right on the edge. Just got a tiny bit of white, right? If you get a big blob, you're going to end up with a big blob there, and that's what happened to me a couple of times. So just a little tiny bit. Right on the very tip of that toe. Okay. Okay. You could even, I was going to say you could use white chalk. That'll wipe off though. A little bit there is better. That's better. Finally. All right. Okay, so let's get some of the shadows in here. So we're going to add blue and white and a little bit of red and just try to get some more shadow here. I don't want those lines there like that. So just shadow it up again. This part here. But we still have some shadows, that's good. Shadows are important. There we go. There we go. So I'm just going to take my brush and put it in, I'm going to clean it off a little bit in my tissue. And then I'm going to pick up some white. And then I'm going to highlight the outer areas first. Okay, so we may need to use different brushes for this. I'm going to try the round brush to get the edges here. Then I'm going to scrub it back in here. Good, and I want to highlight that as light as I can. You may have to do it a couple of times. All right. And then I'm going to try this brush here, this flat. You might need a smaller one. I'm thinking now I might need a smaller one. So I'm just going to try that first. And I'm going to chisel it. Chisel the edge. And then I'm going to that down here and I'm going to bring it in. So I got a little furry look. Oh. So now if you like, just get a flat brush, okay? And if you want to, you can call it the heel and toe. And if it's an angular brush, if it's not an angular brush, just pick a side that you put white on the toe and call that the toe. And that way you'll be able to say, okay, well, we'll use the toe. So if you want to. So we're just going to put some white on the edge here. And then we're going to bring that in. So we can soften up those edges there. So put the toe, you're going to sit on your chiseled edge, and you can see the toe is right on the edge there, so that helps. Right on the edge, and then you can bring it in. So we need more white paint. You can bring that in here. Soften up the body a little bit. I was going to approach it in a different way, but I'm going to try this. Seems to be simpler if you just I'm going to use the toe to see if I can get a little bit feathered out there. And then just bring that in. Get more on the edge and just kind of do that for now. It's starting to lighten up there now. We also have, looks like it might be a little bit of a wing out here too. Just going to bring that around the edge here. And then I'm going to start up here for now. Remember I said sit on your chiseled edge, stand up, sit down, pull back. Okay, and then you can pull in from there. Okay, good. We'll get that nice little hump. You still do the same thing. Give a little bit of shape. And just pull back some of these highlights like that. I want to leave some shadows around so that you can do this if you want to look like it's got feathers there. So it's going to be a back and forth thing. This seems to be a little more difficult than I thought. All right, so stand up, sit back, and pull back, and then you can fill it in. All right, you just got to get that you got to get that top there. Good. Okay, so get the edge right here. Use your chisel edge to get around there. Now, as you can see, this is not going to be exactly the same as what you see in the reference photo. But we'll have some fun. Okay, there was a wing here, wasn't it? Can't forget about that. See, it's just making these strokes. And once you got the shadows already put in place, then that way you'll be able to see where you want everything. Just make these little dabs to make it look like, but it's smooth up here, see? I might. Okay, to simplify it, let's just put in all these shadows. All right. And then we will do our best to put in some highlights and things so that we can get nice and bright and make it look something like the reference photo. And like I said, I don't go by reference photos very close. I just try to use them as a guide. So you can use a smaller brush. I like this heel toe. So pick whatever brush that you feel that you can get what you're looking for, okay? So we're trying to get some, make it look like feathers. Like it's not going to look exactly like the picture. You can sit there and definitely try to get those, you know, it's only a matter of dabbing on like that. Dab, dab, dab. As long as you got a shadow underneath, then you'll be able to get that. Important thing is to have your shadow and have a proper brush. And, oh, my hand's in the way. So you can use dab, 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 dab. These feathers are everywhere. So dab. So when that dries more, then you'll be able to put more white on over that. But at least now we can get an idea of which way we want to put those feathers. You can have it plain or you can dab them on like this. That gives it the illusion of feathers. It's an illusion. You can just scrape down some of those up here. All right. Now we'll lighten those up as they dry. You can go over that several times. Same with here, you can just Probably a round brush would be better. Let's see. So we're trying to get the illusion of feathers, right? See? They're kind of all over the place, so there we go, that's better. So a round brush is good. You just push and pull. Because the chisel edge brush gave it too much of a, didn't give that nice round shape. So the biggest thing is to have your shadows, your underpainting. And then you can put things on top. You can even overlap, so there's not too much space. Now if that's too difficult, if you're having a really hard time and you don't want to be taken forever, just paint it, just add some white stripes, like streaks, right? And that way you'll be able to get those, like, just like say you're doing it like that, just put in streaks like that. That also gives it a feather look too, see? If that's easier, do it that way. You know? So many different ways you can approach it. Let's get the ends of these down here. Just go on the end and pull in. Nice white highlight on the edge of here if you can get it. Pull in. You can use whatever brush you find is easier for you. If you want to use a flat brush and do your sit back, use a round brush. As long as you get those edges there. See, stand and then sit and go back. Stand, sit, and go back. This is with a round brush now, so if you were using a flat brush, go back to your flat brush. So I might pick up my flat brush now too. All right, so I'm just using different brushes to see what one works best, what I like best. So making feathers is just pulling out these little strokes. All right, I think I'll use my flat brush now. Just try a flat brush. Get a chiseled edge. Bring it in on your chisel edge. Stand, sit, pull. Stand, sit, pull. All right. I know this dove is going to be a little bit harder than trying to simplify this thing, but it's not that simple because it's got so many feathers. I can simplify it with just putting in shadows, shadings and shadows. I mean, I can do that. Maybe I will, and then you can pick whatever way you want to do it. Like this here. I'm continuously reloading. As the paint comes off your brush, you got to keep reloading. Just going on the edges here. Just trying to give it a feathery look. I'm not trying to, I mean, you're looking at a reference photo that's been done by, you know, like an animation. By machines, probably not by hand, you know what I mean? Like a digital or something. So you can do it that way, or you can do it this way. I want to do it this way just to show you. Okay, so you can do it both ways. You can take these out like this. Soften it up. If you want to change that up, you can just put in the strokes that I was telling you about. So try different ways. You pick the way you like the best. It's coming along, but like I said, I'm trying to do it so that make it easy for you, which means that I tried a couple of different ways. You just have to pick the way you like yourself the best. All right, so you can go on the edge here, lighten up the edge, and then just drag in a bit of it inside. You want to keep some of that shadow. Yeah. I keep reloading because I really want to get, so I want to get some of these little, just using the toe of my brush, I'm just going to pull out some of these here. Maybe a couple down here. now I'm going to, it's coming along. I know did a couple of different ways, but I like to experiment, and I didn't practice it before I started. So like some tutorials, you can practice first and then you can pick the way you want to do it. But I kind of winged it. And you're winging it with me. But at least you can see that, you know, sometimes it's a struggle. So I'm just going to try the feet first, and then I'm going to adjust some of the fur and feathers and stuff down there after. Like I say, painting is, you might see tutorials where, you know, they do pretty fast and then it's done, and then you get frustrated because you're like, how did they do that? Like, I don't know how they did it. And the way I like to be able to show you different ways of doing things, even if I make mistakes myself, you know. I think that's where where this went to. I'll just put that there. There is some fur there. So I'm just going to get something there for now. And there's another little leg out here. And there's a little bit going back here. I did draw it out, but I lost the drawing, so I'm going to have to make it up as I go along. Well, we got them on the, we did get it on the tree branch pretty good. I want to have this orange color. Yeah. When we highlight that, now you'll be able to see where the claws go. It's almost like a pinkish color to it, you know? It's like, it's almost pinkish color, isn't it? But it could be whatever color you want it to be. It could be orange, pink. As long as it's some color that you can see. Put a bit of a darker color under here for kind of a shadowy look. I'm just using reds and oranges. Reds and oranges. So at least are getting some claws out there. I'm going to add a little bit of highlight on the edge with my toe. Anybody just tuned in is going, your toe? And I'm going to go with a little bit of black for the claws. You barely see them now because of where they're too in with the tree. You get that illusion there. Let's get an illusion. Looks like claws, doesn't it? Mm. Yeah. Little dab of highlight on the edge or somewhere there, a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit on your brush there. Just kind of highlight the edges. These little tiny details helps, right? Helps bring things out. So go back and forth until you get it the way you want to look. As long as you're happy with it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you're happy with it, you know. So there's a bit of fur, feathers there somewhere. I think I see some feathers down around the area there. Around here somewhere. Just using my toe, tipping my toe to get some of that furry look down here. Just little strokes. There we go. Like to get this a little bit. Now look at the mess I made. How did that happen? Oh, at least there's some shadows there anyway. I don't mind that because now I got a shadow. But I still want to get it whiter. Choose your chiseled edge, your toe. I do want to get a feathery look, so I'm going to use some paint on my brush and use the chiseled edge, and way to go. Probably when it dries more, I might be able to get more paint on it. See? These little white dabs of paint give it kind of a feather look. Isn't this fun? Oh, it's fun. I like it because I like trying new things. I know that sometimes it takes me longer than it should. Filling in some spots that I think I like to have a little more of a feathery look. kind of blending those together. Yeah, I think I like that better. I think so. There's all kinds of things you can do, isn't it? Just push back and you got feathers. Push back, push back, push back. You know, if you want to do it that way, like I did here, you have feathers. Isn't that cute? See that? It's really nice. The more I peek at it, if you notice, it seems to get nicer. I think we played with the dove enough there now. I couldn't stop. I was just having too much fun. So I think there's another little branch going up here. Be a good idea to clean my brush. And I'm just going to add that bit of orangey color too. Here to get some of this, get somewhere to lay those leaves. Then I'm just going to get my green. And I'm using my flat brush, flat chiseled edge as I call it. And I'm just going to pull out some of those. Let's get some more green. Green it is. Nice dark green. Some of that up there. And on the other side. And there's one there. I can make another one. Do you think we can make another one? Maybe we'll make another one. I'm definitely not going by any reference photo. Just want to do my own thing. Okay, good. And then I'm going to lighten that up a little bit. Just lighten up with a light green. Add a bit of yellow to your green and you'll get a little bit lighter. And then you can start adding your these leaves. They're not leaves. They're pine needles. Pine needles. Lighten them up there now so you can see them. Let's put some yellow on there. Brighten up a bit. So just doing the same thing I did before, just pulling out, pull out, pull out, pull out. Pull down. There's some here. You need more yellow. Just use the chisel edge of your brush to get those nice lines. Get some highlights on these back here. There we go. There we go. Good. See these better here. I bet my hand's in the way, isn't it? And get some stand out a bit. So you get some snow going on there. Get a bit of snow going on up here. Just going to touch it there just to give it the illusion of snow. Nice. Just dab a little bit of snow on there if you like. I'm just tapping it on so it'll give it a softer look. And a little bit of blue in my white. It's for shadow. There we go. And we got to put some bulbs on there and all kinds of good stuff. So if you want to use some of those round, anything round, okay, to make your bulbs, anything at all. So look, that should be a nice bulb right there. So why don't we go into some purple? To make some purple, it's red, and some blue, dark blue. And then you can add some white to brighten it up. It's more on the red side. So you can move it over a little bit here so you don't have to wipe off your brush if you get too much. And then pick up some white and then get kind of, yeah, that color I think is better than that one. It's a nice color. All right. So we can dab that on there. Let's see how that works. So we got one there, and we got one here. Well, we got the roundness, that's good. Now we can fill it in. Getting it round, that's the big thing, see? Then you can just fill it in and decorate. See, if you push the edge of your brush, because it's a chiseled edge and because it doesn't have any bristles sticking out of it or anything, it's just gives you a nice sharp edge there, see? Nice. Now we can do a blue one. Let's do a blue one. Let's try one of these, like I showed you before. So I just take that and dip it in some blue. Just make sure you got it all filled up so that you can put it on there, and just here somewhere. Good. There's another blue one down here. I might as well use that now while we can. The background is blue, so we gotta spruce that up a little bit. That's good. And now we can use a small one if you like. For some smaller ones. We can dip this in red, just a tiny one. But like I say, you don't have to do this. You can whatever you can find that's round and small, you know, small, and it's around here somewhere. We just have to decorate them now when we get them all on there. You can use, this one's too big. I would do that, but it's too big. Let's see what else we need. A couple more. So we got one here, one here. There's a little orangey one or yellow one down there. I'm going to just go into my yellow, a little bit of red. Red and yellow, and I'm going to put that down here. I'll fill it in after. We have a star right here, but I don't have a star figure. I don't think I do. Maybe I have one on a template or something. Let's see. I mean, we could draw it out, but if I can use a template, I will. So don't forget too that we have these. And you can also make nice ones with that one. Right? Depending on the size you want. Maybe we could make a couple of little tiny ones. I've seen some small ones there. There's one there hanging off a branch. I think right here. Let's try that one. What color is it? It's pink. I'll just put in with a bit of red first. And then I can decorate it after. There we go. It's not too bad. It's better when you see a bit of an odd shape there because I couldn't put it in, squeeze it in as tight as I would have liked to. But that works too. And then your star, if you can get a template for that, that'd be great. Let's see if I can find one. I think we need one up there. That's a small one, I think. A little tiny one. So now you would want to decorate them. So let's get a small brush. I'm going to go with some pink. Right here. Pinkish, purplish color. The light in that side, but we want to darken it up a little bit. We need some shadow. You just make a darker purple, and you go around it on this side here because that's the shadow area. And if you lose the roundness, you can always fill it in with some branches there. And then we'll add a bit of white. And you can start adding a little bit of white on the edge there. Bring it in when you get that lightness. Bring it in a bit. And that's good. And then you can probably get a toothpick and put some white decorations on it. Just tap into your white and then just put some decorations on it. Just these little lines, kind of like little lightning rods. Little squiggly lines. Very good. And do the same thing with the blue one. Put some shadows on it first. All right, some shadow. And that will mean you'll have to darken up your blue. Put some shadow. Corner there. And what you can do then is add some white to your blue and then lighten up top part of it there, so because light is shining on that. And then you can add some decorations. Now you can decorate it whatever way you want. Don't have to do it like this. You can do it whatever way you want. All right. Let's get some extra white paint. My palette's getting pretty dirty. I don't like to change my palette too often because I like the colors to mix in with each other. I don't mind that. See, I don't mind that kind of stuff. See, it depends on... You're picking up some tips from me, and I'm doing it my way, the way I'm used to doing it. And you might look at another artist, and they might do something way different than I do. So it's good to check out all different videos, see what way other people are doing them too. That way you can pick, you know, some of the techniques from some artists and some of the techniques from other artists, right? And you pick whatever you find easier, or you can advance into the more harder things that they teach. Lots of goodies, lots to learn. So if this is your starting point and it helps you get started, and that would make me happy. If you move on to other people that are more advanced, let me know. I'd love to know, because I'd love to see. I have people that I taught little simple tricks like this, and now they're teaching themselves. So, you know, they're teaching other people. And that's how you do it. You learn first, and then you teach. Let's see, we get this highlight here. Get on the edge first, and then pull in. I'm not going to do all, yeah, I'll do all these. Another toothpick. Oops, not too much. Let's decorate it whatever way you want. We gotta put the tops on some of these yet. Cute. Very cute. So just doing some finishing touches to the decorations, and I just wanted to a little bit of highlight up here. Now, the dove is the hardest what we've done so far, because I've been kind of going back and forth with different techniques. So pick the best technique that you find the easiest, and use that, because there's so many different ways you can do this. The feathers, I tried to find the easiest way I could for you. So so hopefully you can get it done. Right. I better leave it alone, because I'm after playing with it so much. Because what happened was, I wanted to get more detail. I wanted to get as much detail as I could. And that takes a long, long time. It takes like going back and forth many times. But then I changed things up and tried to make it easier for you guys. And because I don't want to spend 4 or 5 hours just on dove. And you can, because there's so many details. So I just detailed it a little bit. And so whatever way is easy for you, just paint the whole bird a blue or gray underpainting. And then just to highlight it with some quick strokes of white on the edges, and then pull it in. That'd probably be the easiest way to do that. As for the decorations, we've got some decorations here. There's a nice pink one here. That looks almost like red there, but we're going to pink it up. We are going to pink it up. And so we have our circle. And then we're going to clean our brush, because I don't want it too pink. I mean, I want to have some shadows here. So I just add a little bit of red to my brush, clean it off, and put some red back on there. So as you can see, if you got values, dark, medium, and light values, then that will make, you know, your painting stand out instead of just one. See how the ones with nothing on them yet, they're just plain. But when you start adding highlights and shadows and your 3 values, then they come to life, right? So 3 values. So you got your light there, your medium, and then some shadow if you want, right? Not if you want. It would be nicer. I want, you know, I'm trying to teach you, so teach about values and things and how it makes things look so much better. So it's just add a little bit of blue to your red, and you get a really nice dark shadow then, right? And you mix that all together and shade it out. If you get too much, just go back in with some white or some red or some pink. I'm going to put the highlight on there. So 3 values plus the highest highlight, okay? See, that looks so much better, right? Looks so much better. You gotta, you know, you need to shape things up. Sometimes you have to check things out, shape things up. Like if looks like the trees should be here somewhere, just to round it out, right? So just tap on there to get that roundness, get the round look, right? See? So just trying to show you these little things just so that you can, you know, so that you can learn how you do things and how things work and why they are the way they are. That one down there is orange. So clean your brush. I'm just using a small flat brush. Small flat brush is all I'm using. Most of my paintings, I'm finding the small flat chiseled edge brushes are really good for all kinds of things, right? So you get a small flat brush. And then you can go into your orange down here. You can actually make your own orange, or you can actually buy orange if you have a hard time making it. I added white to mine because it's very transparent. So I'm going to try and get it a bit more opaque. So make it opaque. I'm going to add white. And then I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to add the orange again. You might want to wait till it dries in order to get that orange on there. Now, if you want a stronger orange, like you can use pure orange out of the tube, and then you can add a bit of red to it and make it even more intense, right? But this little guy, it's very transparent. Look, you can see right through it. So I'll let that dry. I'll put the white back on, and I'll let that dry. Put white back on there and let that dry, and then might have to do a couple of coats. Some paints are really transparent, and you have to use white to make it opaque. Either paint it white and let it dry, and then put your color on, or add white to your so this one here I think is pink. So you have lots of pink ones. Maybe another orange one would be nice, or something bright. So I'll go with white. Just to brighten it up. And then we will, as you can see there, let's put some branches back in there to shape that up. Let's put some, right, there we go. See how easy it is to fix things? Well, almost. It's all right, I can put white back in there. Like I say, it's always going back and forth. There we go. And we have that. What's that one up there? That's another pink one. Let's do a red one. Or yellow. How about yellow? Because same thing. See, it's opaque. I'm sorry, I'm going to put white on that for now. Let that dry, and then we'll add the yellow. Because it's very transparent. Just trying to add some colors. So while we're waiting for that to dry, why don't we do those little things that are holding on to this, right? I'm going to use a toothpick because I think a toothpick is easier to maneuver. So we'll just put a little top and 3 little legs coming down, and it's done. No fooling around. All right, so that's that one. You have another one right here. You can have whatever color you want. I'm just going to throw a little red one in there. So you got the top and down. Maybe you can see it. So I will add a bit of white. There we go, that's better. And then what else? What else? We got another one up here. Here's another yellow one. You can make yellow or light green. Another one here. It's a straight line and then 3 little legs. Good. Got another one up there. Some are silver. I'm just going to add some white and another color. Oh, that one's done. This one here, this is yellow, isn't it? But I got white on mine. White for now. I can't get it off. So I'm going to try orange on your toothpick, or a very small, thin brush. See? Another one here. Could be yellow, green, whatever color you want. Top, 3 legs. Straight line. 3 legs. That one's a little messy, but that's okay. I can fix that. I'll fix that. I'll fix that with some green. And then we have like a string. So I'm going to dip into white. I'm going to make these strings go around the branches. Like I said, you can use, if that's too big, if your toothpick is giving you a hard time, then try a very thin, long liner if you have one. If you don't, toothpick is good. You just have to control it a little bit. So look, I love these. These are, they call them rigger brushes too. If you're ever looking for one at a craft store, just ask them to get a rigger brush. If they don't know what it is, then they need to get trained in how to sell crafts. I know. So these little, that one needs a tap. I'll put one here with the rigger brush. This is much easier to use than toothpick. But I want to show you different ways to do things, so. See? That one there is kind of bright, isn't it? So I'm going to add some dark green to bring it back into the trees there. See? So easy to fix. This one here, I think, has a little bit there. Now, they can be darker. They don't have to be white. You can have them a grayish color, whatever color the strings are. So cool, isn't it, to make these little tiny details? I love little tiny I love little details, but it almost takes longer than it does with the whole painting, because you get so many details to do. Just straightening up this one. And not only that, you might want to fix some of them. Maybe you don't like the way they look. Different things like that. All right. Might as well use my liner brush now to finish off some of these bulbs. Let's see if I can get some of that orange on there. There we go, that's better. I'm going to use a little bit of red to give it a bit of shadow. Clean off your brush, there's too much on it, and then you can blend it in with the orange there. So you got to get that blend, that's really important. And some white on the edge here. Good. If you need more white, just put a little bit on the edge there. Wherever you think you need it. Now let me see. What about that one up there? What were we going to do with that one? Yellow? So to darken that and give it a shadow, you'll need probably orange. see what that looks like with a bit of orange on it. A little bit of a shadow or something there. Nice, and then a bit of white on the end. And you can decorate it whatever way you want. All right. Some are pretty plain. They don't have a lot of decorations on them. Just plain. This one here, we can probably do a nice little... why don't we do a green one for a change? Just take some blue and yellow or pick out your green color that you want. We'll do green. See, we can't do too much green because it'll look like part of the tree. So let's just do a bit of green. And we'll add some really light colors. All right, and then we'll add a bit of blue, just blue, to the end here for shadow. A bit of blue, dark blue, ultramarine blue if you got it. And then maybe some yellow to brighten up the other side. See, whatever way you want decorated. I'm just looking at picture and brighten it up there. That looks better. That looks good. Nothing wrong with it. Now, I was going to attempt a star, but I don't know if I want to go through that trouble right now. But I would like to try a star, but I might mess it up on you. So I think I'll put the center in first. I don't know if that one's too big or if it's too big. Let's try this little one. Just get something that's a circle. Get a circle done first. And then you can add these little, like you're making letter A. The letter A, 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 A. So we'll just fill that in with whatever color you want. Say orangey color. So that will take out that circle in the middle there. Give you a bit of a star. So you make a star first, then you can work around it. So not that much done. So what you can do next is take your flat brush, your flat one with the toe, and you can put some yellow and orange on it. See what happens. I'm just I want to see what happens. I'm going to use my toe to get that pointy top. Push back. And I'm going to push back, push back, push back. Now the paint is you can see through it, right? So when that dries, we can add white. But if you want to, rather than draw it out, you can try that. Well, you should have a little circle just to guide you, right? You have a circle. Have a circle to guide you. Draw a little circle and then push back into the circle. I think that would help. So on your toe, stand and then sit. Stand, sit, stand, sit. I'm trying white to see if I can get that too. I may have to wait for that to dry. Stand and sit, and then you got a nice little star. Okay? So you can have another little star sticking out here if you want. Just adding some white to my yellow and orange, just see if I can get. Stand and sit, stand and sit. So that can be like something sticking out there. Give it some brightness. Is there anywhere else we can put something? I think that's enough. Do you? Do too much, it'll be over too much. Now we got some of these cute little. Let's use our same brush. And why don't we make some candy canes? So we can take our brush, clean it off, go into your red, chisel edge, chisel, and then you can bring this down. Let's say one right here, just a little one, and add. It looks like you can't see it, right? So let's add a little bit of white to it. I know it's going to pink it up, but at least it'll brighten it up. There we go, that's better. And then you got another one here. And here. And here. You can have them wherever you want them. Have them wherever you want them. Good. And now what we'll do is we'll take you can take a toothpick, or you can take a liner brush and add white and put these little dots of white on them, like little candy canes. Now, if candy canes don't look straight enough, you can always fix them up with your liner brush. You know, if they look too odd. Oh, there we go. We got white ones. That's cute. Kind of like that. Add a bit of white to the edge there. Brings them out a bit more. I like that. That was a happy accident. That's a happy accident. I like that. Nothing wrong with it. There we go. And I think there's one up here hiding. So I think that's all the decorations I can see on that tree. You can have as many as you want. Nice. Nice. So I wonder, let's see. I'm going to try and put a little lamppost here instead of what I've seen in the picture there. But I'll try. So say it's coming from out there. So we'll just have a little something that's hanging on. So use your chalk so you can figure out what you want to do. And then you got a little something here holding on to it. And then we're gonna just do the letter A. And then around. And then we're gonna come in. We don't want too big now. We just want to say that there's a little thing there. A little ball on the end there. Let's try that. That's just hanging down there. Just give it a bit of brightness. So we'll go with the black first. You can use your flat brush. Use your flat brush if you want. I think it's the best one to use. Flat. And we'll use black paint. So like I said, do it with your chalk. Just bring out a line up and down and a little curve. All right, and then a little dot, a little round circle, letter A, and then upside down A or a V, right? I'm not going to make it complicated. I'm going to make it very simple. And then we are going to use our black paint with our flat brush, and we're going to fill it in. Good, and then we'll do the top part, that little ball there. Just use the corner of your brush to get that done. And then we'll come down here like this, make your letter A, and then come across, make your letter V, and another little ball down here. Nothing fancy, just a little bit of fun here now. And then we are going to, so where's the light coming in? Through both or one? Let's see. Let's say the light's coming in from the top. All right. Okay, so we'll take the top for the shade. We'll just bring that down like that. These gloves that I'm wearing, they're good for drawing too, so you won't, so the carbon from your pencil don't get on your paper. That kind of saves that. It's from getting on your hand. So I should leave a link to those too. But if you go into my Amazon shop, I got all that there under drawing supplies and painting supplies and all kinds of things, right? And if you buy from my Amazon shop, I will get a small commission. I don't make very much money there, but you know, every little penny helps, and I can buy more canvases and paints. And as you can see, I got over 1,000 paintings on YouTube, so it costs a lot of money over. But it took a couple of years. I mean, it's not like I did it yesterday, all in one shot. But still, it's still takes, you know, I had to buy a new camera, a new phone. I know it's, you know, when you're looking at these videos, you're not thinking about that. All you want to do is learn. You don't need to know that stuff, right? But it's nice to know why people are asking, you know, for support or donations. I know I'm not asking for donations or support, you know, because what all I'm asking is that, you know, you share my video if you can, if you like it enough, let people know. That way, the more viewers I get, then I get some advertisers on there, and they will, and YouTube pays for advertising on your channel. And then you got Amazon. Like I said, it's not a big lot of money. Some people are making good money at it. I'm not making good money at it because I don't spend 24 hours a day on it. So you really got to be pushing it. You know, you make it a full-time job, sort of, right? But I love doing this, and I do it at my leisure, and because I know how much work is involved in order to make a lot of money and take up your life. So a little bit of money that I get, I should say, from my Amazon shop, sometimes I'll make $10, maybe 20, you know. So I'm saying I'm very small amounts, right? But it all helps. I can buy 2 canvases at $10 probably. That's why I paint over some of the canvas. I paint over this canvas. I painted over with white, black, I should say, and that saves me from having to go out and buy more canvases. So I'm just putting oranges and white on here. The orange is very, very, yeah, my Patreon page helps too. And as a matter of fact, I love my Patreon page because people come in to see some extras. And when they go to my Patreon page, there's no ads. So they pay that $1 a month just so they can look at my tutorials without ads. Even that alone. And then I have some stuff there that's only for Patreons. And I do drawing lessons for an extra $1 and a few things that are there. So check into the few. This one's probably for Patreon anyway. But this will be going on YouTube a little later down the road. Well, I got to get it on before Christmas. This was one that was Amanda asked for, because I had these up there asking people what they would like me to paint. Some of them are already painted and some are not. I just use them for reference. So down here, there's a little bit of a line. I'll fix that in a second. I gotta let that dry a little bit because I can't get anywhere with it. It's too transparent. So I'll let that dry there for a little while. And I'm going to use black paint with my liner with my flat brush. I'm going to use the black paint to fix up the edges here. That's nice. Come out here a little bit. And down. Gotta have a steady hand for this one, or you can use a ruler or whatever helps, or a tape. I think I'd like to have a little bit of a bottom here. There we go. That's better. Give it some shape. I'm just going to bring that in where that little ball is. Just kind of making this up. I'm having a ball. Yeah. Okay, so if you have a hard time with that, if you're having a hard time with making a circle down there, just get it. Let's get one of those. And then you can make one here. That's better. See that? Isn't that cute? There we go. That helps, doesn't it? Q-tip. See all these little tiny things that you can use. All right, so I'm trying to see if I can highlight that now with the a lighter color. I'm going to try my liner brush. See if I can lighten up that light more. I have to use yellow. A very bright yellow. Let's see if that'll help. Probably some white on top of that just to see if I can get some brightness to come out of there. Kind of dabbing it on too, right? Because if I rub it on, it seems to disappear. That's kind of cool. I'll wipe off my brush. Whatever's left on it, I'm just going to do some highlights with this. There we go. Put a bit of highlight on the edge here. Might have to use a flat brush for that one. Always go back and forth with your brushes. Because if one brush is not working for you, don't stay with it. Move around. That's something that's very important. If your brush is giving you a hard time, put it away until you can use it for next time. All right, I'm just going to use a smaller flat brush this time. All right. I just stuck a little bit of yellow in there on purpose. All right, just want to get an edge here. Not that much of an edge. Just want to get some, there we go. Because the light's shining off of that now. A little on the edge of the ball there, a little on the edge of the ball there, and on this. I need more paint. Get rid of those chalk lines. A little more white paint. Maybe a little bit of yellow with it too, I think. Right underneath. Maybe that's where the light's coming from, underneath. There we go. Let's scrub a little bit of light there. And I'm just kind of scrubbing some, like just a bit of light or something. I'm not sure if I like that. Kind of like the more black. It's a little bit too much there. Probably going to put a center down. I don't know if I should or not. Thinking about putting a center down there. What do you think? If I mess it up, don't do it. I'm just going to tap it on so I don't, so I don't mess up the paint that I already have there. All right, so let's see if I can get a little bit more paint here so you can see this little ball. Right. I'm thinking there's probably some light coming from that, so we need to scrub on maybe do a dry brush. I think I showed you dry brushing before. We could dry brush a halo around that, just to give it some light. So just get a bristle brush. It can be round or it can be flat. Put a bit of white paint on. I'm going to put a little bit of yellow and white. And just a little tiny bit of yellow and white, right? Just a little tap of yellow and a little tap of white. Just wipe it off here. But now you need to wipe it off even more because that's way too much paint on there to do a dry brush. In order to do a dry brush, you got to have paint on it, but you got to wipe it off so that there's hardly any paint on it. You can check it on your wrist. It was too much there to wipe more off, okay? And then you take it and you do circles. You do circles just to give it a glow. All right, just around the lamp. It gives a bit of a glow. And you can have the glow as big as you want. You don't need much paint, as you can see. Right? You don't need much paint. If you do run out and you want a bit more, put some more paint on it for sure. But don't forget to wipe it off in your tissue. Really good. Really, really good. Okay. And if you don't have enough, it's better not to have enough than to have too much because it'll be really hard to fix it. You're better off not having enough. All right? Because you can always go back and get a little tiny bit more. And then if it does take you a little bit longer, that's okay. It's a bit of a light there. So there we go. That's cute, isn't it? That's so cute. So I'm going to fix up some of the paint, some of the snow. So we got some snow, so maybe we'll bring the tree down a little bit more. I'm thinking the tree could come down a little bit more. If you think you need the tree to come down a bit more, just do that. So get some branches, right? Make it nice and dark so we can highlight it if we need to. Okay. Make it nice and dark. Just bring out a few branches here and there just to say the trees coming out this way. And then we'll highlight it. So what we'll do is we'll pick up some yellow in our dirty brush and just highlight a few areas. Keep reloading until it works. All right, so now we're going to clean up the snow. Maybe there's a little faded tree back here. Let's just do some that really bright green, kind of blue green with some white. Like there's this, like if there's a, maybe a tree back here. That's too light. So back into some green. So we're just going to green, get some green, and a little bit of blue just to brighten it up. Because it's faded, it moved off to distance. Okay, so it's just a little bit of tree back there, somewhere way back there. Right? Just on an angle on your chiseled edge. Just tap, 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 tap. Maybe there are a few little trees down here. Who knows? Only Santa knows. We don't know what's going on, do we? We're just using our imagination. I'm going to add a little bit of white to that just to see if it looks like it might be snow on those trees. So, how's our snow here? How is our snow? Maybe a little bit more up here. Maybe a little bit more here too. However much you need. I think that's enough. We don't want to overdo it. And I'm going to just highlight the snow around here. Little bits of snow here and there. I'm going to save some of the underpainting, the blue, right? As you can see, I'm not doing the whole thing. Kind of skipping over it. Using my chiseled edge to get between those trees there. There we go. So much more you can do though, but I'm not going to do too much more, so it'll take you forever to do the painting. Some blue down here. Make sure you blend it, okay? Make sure you blend it. There we go. Good, 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 good. Very good. You can put anything you want down here. It's kind of cute the way it is. I like it. What do you think, guys? What do you think?